today's live on Equa Television International. We're so happy and glad that you could join us on today's edition of the program. We're talking about education. We're talking about intelligence. Like, have you ever measured intelligence? Like, have you wondered what exactly is the measure of intelligence? Like, do you think it is when somebody pass standard test, aptitude test, or you feel it's about IQ? Or you're of the school of thought that actually the measure of intelligence should revolve around social or emotional intelligence? Well, join the conversation. We'll find out what exactly defines intelligence. Is it about getting to the rank of professor? Is it about acquiring riches and all? What exactly is the measure of intelligence? Engineer Tony J. Nakale is seated. Good morning.
Morning, Joyce.
Jemima, good morning.
Good morning.
Solomon, good to have you all here.
Good morning, Joyce.
Let's talk about intelligence.
I was going to talk about your hair.
What happened again now?
No, let's talk about intelligence. You styled it intelligently.
Thank you. I hope that
Intelligence starts from the head.
Every day you call Joyce, I'm in Terminus. She has never been anywhere else in her life. If she's not at home, she's in Terminus.
So that's how one day I almost fell in terminals. I was sharing the story with somebody. They laughed at me. They said,
You almost what?
Fell in 10 minutes.
why are you the queen? I reduced the
He
volume.
didn't hear and I'm
then
close to
you-
him.
Of all places to fall, it's Terminus you chose.
And somebody told me when I was sharing how that I said, good for you every day.
You see, I didn't get it wrong.
What do you expect now? When,
You're always in Terminus.
because I have business to run
Business
there
woman.
ahead. That's why. But let's talk about intelligence.
The Constitution says that you should concentrate one place so that thunder will not.
To locate you easily.
This Jemima,
telling
especially
you.
when she's seated there.
She's close to chop knuckle.
But
chop
don't
knuckle.
trust her before the end of the show now.
110%.
I hope
Wow.
so. The way you are seated there, like you are so ready to talk.
Have they ever walked out on you on
You
the
are
show?
sitting intelligently, please.
Wow.
The floor is all yours.
I am almost paying school fees, so I have to be at alert about everything. You don't know where money will come from, so you have to be just,
September
grab
is
it.
just around the
I'm
corner.
telling you,
Inside the corner.
you didn't have to say that, Solo. You didn't have to say that.
Okay.
You didn't have to say that.
Because
Sorry,
now it's
sorry.
scary.
You would have left it the way it was. Just because
But
you are
somebody is
intelligent.
excited
Just
about
because you are
September
intelligent,
that
you
is
should not-
coming. Because it has nothing to do with fees.
What does it have to do?
Yay!
What does it have to do with? Bad day that they'll
Just
do
now.
puff. Only puff.
Yay!
Have you ever eaten anything on?
This one that snapped with the cake
I
and
was the
saved the
one that
picture.
I
Gave it
didn't
to
say
every other
snap.
person.
I said ate
In fact, I was the one
Chef.
was giving to.
to share.
Yes.
And you stole from it.
No.
Okay,
No,
you didn't steal from it.
What is cake?
Oh wow, what is cake? Anyway, her kind of cake. What is?
Wow. Let's talk
So the
about
topic is intelligence. So Joyce, what is intelligence?
I just
I
asked
don't have
you.
the
You
right to
sat
ask you.
intelligently.
I don't have the right to ask you a question. What is intelligence?
I'm the host.
What
Here. I'm
does
the anchor.
Who made you uncle?
Actually.
I'm the anchor.
Who made you uncle?
Actually.
Eh?
Oh yeah,
What
taking
is it?
over from
What
me.
is intelligence?
Amazing.
What does it mean to
how
be
that
intelligent?
how that your guess will turn you to
The tables are turning.
it is well.
You are talking about intelligence. You know, a lot of people see it as something you go to school to get. I think not. I don't think intelligence is something you go to school, like secondary, university, to get. It's also a place where you can get it, but it's not the only place
True.
where you can get it. A lot of people are intelligent not because they went to school. A lot of people have been intelligent from the dreams that they have or they had. A lot of people said, this is who I want to become. And unfortunately, you don't have a place of study for a thing like that. So you find your way to inform yourself about that trade in the absence or presence of school. So I think everybody should make a concerted effort to be intelligent in the area that they stride.
But is it possible for you to just be intelligent without being schooled? Whether like beyond the four walls, like without being schooled? Because even if you expose yourself to information, let's say to information online or YouTube videos, or let's say even based on experience, like, is that not a form of school?
Those of you that are watching the show, what did I say different from the question I'm asked right now? You are bragging that you are
No,
the
you
host.
said intelligence is you don't think you can get that from school. So I'm just saying that.
No, I'm just saying that there are certain things that you can't learn from school. So you have to be informed about certain things, not from a school. Like the one you always brag about. Was that your favorite lecturer, Mr. Adekule? Like the one you brag about, that's not what I mean. You don't have to sit in a class to get intelligence. That's what I'm saying. The street can give you intelligence,
True.
Your parents, our parents
That
gave us intelligence using brooms, slippers, anything nearby. Our parents could have fought a war and win, because anything close by was a weapon. In those days where they ask you to do something and you fail to do it, if they start looking left and right, if you have brain in your head, take off. But if you stay, they will never miss. They will never miss. So you see, Joyce, when I was talking about intelligence, I said earlier that you do not have to go to a classroom necessarily. That's not to say school cannot give you intelligence. No, I didn't say that. I'm just saying that school can give you intelligence. Elsewhere, you can also get intelligence. Like what you're saying, there are certain people who are self-taught. People teach themselves stuff. There are certain people who hunt information wherever it's found. Right now, who is bothered about school? Sometimes when I hear people doing masters, PhD, all these things, I ask them, except in the Nigerian system, what do you want to do with it? There's nothing wrong with that. But believe me, ask most of the people that you see PhD on their names. They just want to have it so that it will be like a title. Because if you travel around the world now, nobody is employing you based on what you studied. They're employing you based on the skills you have acquired. A friend of mine was telling me in Abuja, he said, a very, very interesting person to meet. He was a bank manager and he resigned to be a tailor. And if you call him, if you say he's a fashion designer, I say, no, I am a tailor. I am a tailor. Call me a tailor. Joyce, it will shock you when you go to his tailoring house. It will shock you what you will find. He's trading. He's doing all this trading online, this forex trading and all this stuff. At the same time, he's a tailor. He's making clothes for people. He has never made clothes for any of us, but he's making clothes for people. If you see what he's making, you would think that, there's what they call ready-made. There's I don't know which one is which one. They all go through the same process, but there is a way they are packaged. You hardly think it was made here. Now, a pastor sent his daughter, who also left bank, to learn what he's doing. The pastor loved him so much. He wants one of his children to be like him. So she went. And then she told him that she's going for her master's, I think in Abuja University. Is it University of Abuja or Abuja University? I don't know. But the university that is in Abuja, that is owned by government. So he asked her why. She said she needs the PhD and all of that. Then he asked her, how much more will you make when you have this master's, whether it's at MSc or I can't remember what it was, but how much more would you make? And she said about 150,000. And then he asked her, what if you have a skill? Sir, if you see the cars that guy is driving, his family travel in and out of the country at ease. He pays at ease. Now, he went to the university to get knowledge about financing. Now, that knowledge, now these are my words, I think got him stuck. And he was looking for a little way and he got it. Now he has resigned from working in the bank. and he is on his own. When you call him like a fashion designer or something, say, no, Tony, I'm a tailor. Don't try to say anything. I am a tailor. Sit and talk with him. You will notice that he's not a tailor. You get what I'm saying? So it depends on the drive. You know, we don't have schools. Like, I was on TikTok, I think from 1 a.m. to like 3 a.m. And I was seeing how people were sitting down and taking classes about forex trading. And they were like giving them time. You have to hit this before this time. If not, you are going back to start from the beginning. Elderly people, I'm wondering, when would universities start thinking in that direction? Like I would always say, the school is a system where you memorize information. So when you are done memorizing that information, what if there is a trade that starts where what you have memorized stops?
Stop.
You are stuck.
Sure.
So I would rather that people get more intelligent about skills rather than certificates from universities and all of that. So they have not taken anybody anywhere. Imagine a VC will study and study and study, have MSc, study and study and study and study PhD, study and study and study till he becomes professor, only to be a VC.
And announce results.
And bring governors who are coming to do what do you call it? Some sandwich courses, and people who don't even have time to attend classes. They take them online and do distant learning and all of that. And then suddenly you are announcing them. So why did you study all the way up there? Just to be, you understand? I'm not saying there's anything.
Have 3 MSCs.
I'm not
Finish
saying
to
there is
do another
anything
one.
wrong with that. I am not saying that. But I'm just saying, be intelligent enough to think outside your country. Be intelligent, yes, be intelligent enough to think outside your country. There are people, I told you, I think on today's live, one day my son woke up and said he wants to be a carpenter. I laughed first. He said, Daddy, before you talk, it's not this kind of carpenter that you think. Like chairs like this. It was made by a carpenter. And I remember we paid twice. Not because that was a condition, but because that was our condition. So you see, there are things that when you start thinking skills, you make chairs where governors, presidents, and all of that will sit. So I think when you talk about intelligence, Joyce, it spans through a lot of facets of life.
True.
You know, so when we talk about intelligence, people just think it's to know book. No, it's not.
Okay, but
Just knowing book is a form of intelligence. Applying what you have known is another level of intelligence.
okay, so
Making money from what you have acquired and applied is another form of intelligence.
okay, so Jemima, what would you say?
You didn't make any comments about what I said. I spoke for about 10 minutes and they said, why do people don't give you your accolades while you're
I'm
alive?
going to. Well, thank you for
Some
your-
of us are going to wait for rapture, Joy. So in case you are thinking you come by the box and throw a flower, there will be no opportunity like that.
Thank you for your opinion on intelligence, Jemima. What do you think?
That was casually said. Jemima, please.
Okay, thank you for your perspective.
I seen my cake, please.
Jemima, what do you think should be the measure of intelligence? We live in a society in today's life, like experienced people, but what exactly do you think should be the measure of intelligence, that when you see somebody you can say, wow, this person is actually intelligent?
The measure of intelligence should be
I thought you would start with her. You analyze her intelligence. Well, go ahead anyway. Go ahead.
the measure of intelligence should be an all-round measurement. You don't just measure one thing. Like what has been established today is that we only measure intelligence when someone is educated academically. Just that. So when he has all the qualifications, the masters, the PhDs and all of that, which are good, that is the only way we measure intelligence, and that shouldn't be. Because I know of people that have done exceedingly abundantly well above all that we have
Wow.
asked for
Wow.
in the academic realm, but then that is just all that is to it. When you check social intelligence, he does not have any form of ability to interact with anyone, not even with an animal. He just doesn't know how to interact with people. He or she just know how to keep to themselves and just do what they want, and then they are practically living like ghosts because they are on their own. They don't know how to interact. They don't have any form of social intelligence or anything at all. All they know is just the academic intelligence, and when you give them that, they give it back to you 100 folds. So measurement of intelligence to me should be an all-round measurement. Don't just look at one aspect and say, this person is not intelligent at all, and then look at another person's aspect and say, this person is not. No, you should be able to look all round. It should be all together.
Okay, Sam Solomon, your take.
Yes, like she said, I think it's holistic. Yeah, it's holistic, like she said. I feel to say someone is intelligent is your ability to be able to act appropriately in a given situation.
And also giving room for people's differences as well. Someone might be really intelligent and then another might be struggling, but then that is his best. So you also give room for differences.
Joyce, I have a sense that we can never exhaust this topic today.
Of course, but you see,
because honestly, like Jemima just opened it up. If you look at what intelligence is, it spans. It spans. Like even your eating culture. When you sit down to eat, you have to apply some intelligence. You have to disregard the level of hunger and eat well. Because sometimes is what you are going through determines how you behave. So you just see food and you are like, let me bring spoon. What do you mean? And then you start eating. Haba, are you a bougie man? You understand? You have to you have to put some decorum. You know, when you are informed, chances are that you will be intelligent.
Yes.
But when you are not informed, you will exuberate the characters of where you are from, and even borrow from local places and add to. Why did you just? I didn't call anything.
The thing is that you cannot act on nothing. You cannot act on nothing.
She wants to make a point. She says she's an anchor, but she's making points.
You cannot act on nothing.
So who asked you to make points now?
I don't understand. You just made your contribution.
Do you have to make a contribution?
We are just icing.
So you don't have to.
Can we apply some emotional intelligence?
We don't even have time. We are supposed to be talking, three of us. You are supposed to be redundant on this show. You have opened the show. Let's finish, then you close it.
Okay, so
she's still making a point.
You all gave your perspective on intelligence and measure.
You want to give your own too, so that they know
measure
your
of intelligence, like well said. But for me, I think
JK, you know I still love you. Go ahead.
When you talk about intelligence,
when someone loves you, you love them back. Intelligence. You know I still love you. Yes, I love you.
Are you sure me and Solo will not just make our points? Obviously, it doesn't look like it.
Joyce, go ahead with your point.
So, you see, for me, I think intelligence is, like simply put, the ability to acquire knowledge and put it to practice. Like that, it could be skill, like, but the ability to put that into practice, acquire the knowledge. You talked about information. If you don't have information, you cannot know what to do. For example, as regards courtesy now, there are people we excuse them because we know they don't know. This person is not exposed. There are people that I had cause to interact with, and at the first instance, I got angry about their, let's say, courtesy. And then later on, I got to understand that no, this person is actually not exposed to the information as regard what to do and what not to do. So when you talk about intelligence, for me, is your ability to acquire knowledge and then act on it. That knowledge is not restricted to a particular location or a particular setting. Now, that knowledge, you can acquire it in the four walls, like, of this classroom. That knowledge you can acquire it based on your experience. That knowledge you can acquire it on the streets, still experience. Now, for measurement of intelligence, I think is like we all said, is holistic. It's not one-sided. People talk about IQ. There's emotional intelligence, which today, like, a lot of people have made it like the measurement of intelligence. If you have IQ, if you pass standard tests, aptitude tests, but you don't have emotional intelligence, people can just look at you and say you're not intelligent. And I think that's the point you're coming from, having people study to the level of PhD, yet they cannot apply emotional intelligence, which has to do with you being able to manage your emotion and also understand other people's emotion and then apply it in your relationship with them. So I don't think it's right for anyone to tie intelligence to qualifications, in as much as it is important, and in as much as I just feel the problem about our educational system is what people make of it. Like sometimes when you look at the courses and the curriculum, beautiful, but the implementers like are not being carried along maybe in the setting of the curriculum, and no wonder they are unable to pass it like the way it is. And how that in most cases we focus more on theories than practical. But I think embedded in every courses are also the skill aspect of it. It just depends on one to make use of it or utilize it. For some institution, I think they don't have maybe practicals. They don't do a lot of practicals. There are more emphasis on theories than practicals. But for some institution, they have all it takes, like they do practicals. For example, let's take mass communication as an example. An institution that has a radio station, that has a television station, like, of course, you find out that the students are not just learning theories, but they're also practicalizing it. You see people engaging in voiceovers, which are skills on their own. You see people going into PR. You see people going into news, like there are some institutions that even have newspaper, like productions.
Of course, it's
these are
supposed to be
skills.
complete.
Yes, these are skills. And
The
for some
print
that
media.
even have, yes, print media. For some that also have the television station, you find out that there are students going to practicalize. These are skills that they're getting familiar with. But for some courses, people just go, imagine somebody studying agriculture and then there isn't any point that you even visited any farm or planted anything, or up until your graduation you don't have any farm. Then I think something is actually wrong there. So we don't tie intelligence to just academic qualification, but the knowledge you acquire, you should be able to put it to practice. A lot of people go to the universities or polytechnic or colleges of education, but they come out and you barely see the skills like being demonstrated by such individual. While you see others go, they acquire beyond the theories, they try to specialize. That's why for some institution at your 200 level, 300 level, you are forced to take certain elective that will help you specialize. Instead of taking everything, you're in mass communication, is either you're specializing in journalism, broadcasting, PR, marketing, like you pick an area, editing, and then you specialize. There are courses that are there to help you specialize in those areas. But for some people, because of maybe they are yet to even identify why they are in the school, or maybe it's my father or my mother or your uncle that just say go to the school. And no wonder a story was told of a college of education that were taking like a particular class, and the teacher asked, how many of you, about 800 students in the class, it was a general course, how many of you are going to, like, will become teachers or want to become teachers? I mean, this is not even a question that should be asked in the first place, because they are all in college of education. And you're trained to become teachers. But the teacher just asked the lecturer, how many of you want to become teachers at the end of the day? It was not up to 10 people raised their hands up. So you can see.
So why did they?
So you want to ask that question. And no wonder you find people coming out of such institution without acquiring any skill, because there's no passion, there's no interest, there's no enthusiasm. So no matter what like is being passed to them, like that is not their passion. But I feel that whether you acquire that knowledge on the street or based on your experience, let's see it put to bear. But somebody shared an experience of attending a seminar, and how that it was like a seminar of HR, human resources from different organizations and companies. And they were asked, what are the skills that you would like to see in your employees? 21st century skills. You barely hear anybody talking about A in somebody's result. I want somebody that will come with result that has A's.
No.
Or I want somebody with result that has B's.
No.
Or I want a 2-1, or I want a D's.
No.
But they are talking about collaborative skills. They are talking about creativity. They are talking about relationship. And when problem solving skills. And when you see all of these pointers, they are tied to emotional intelligence. Sometimes you see certain people and you're like, I thought this person went to school. Because there's an expectation that there should be some level of intelligence, the way you interact with people, the way you relate with people. When there's a problem, you should be able to profile solution. But think about it, that you had acquired the highest qualification and there is a problem before you and you can do nothing about it. I mean, nobody will want to say, this person is actually intelligent. Or you just speak rudely to somebody without even asking reasons, like no form of empathy.
You know, Joyce, you mentioned 2 points that I have been memorizing just so I don't forget. You said acquiring knowledge and, putting that knowledge to work. When it comes to intelligence, you use less of it to acquire the knowledge. You use more of it to put it to work. Because at the point that you agreed to go to school, that's the only intelligence you need. Every other thing will be invested into you. Your openness, to receive what you are being taught is key too. But you know what? People have been deceived in this part of the world. You say, go and get that certificate too. Without that certificate, nobody will regard you anywhere.
Nobody is emphasizing go and get skill.
You see, and that is why let me look more ready. And and that is why people fail. People fail. You said you went to you heard in a class where it was a teaching school.
Yes.
People who go to study just because they want to become teachers, and less than 10 of them in the class wanted
800.
to be of 800. So you have 700 and about 80 or 90 who don't know what they want to be. Why do you think it's so? They were told go and get that certificate
first,
and they are told, this other side they are Christians. So go to this school, is in our community. You are safer there. Whatever they give you to read, at least you have gone through a higher institution. Or they tell you the other way around. This other side, they are not Christians. So you go to where it's Christian dominated for your security. Daddy, but I want to do medicine. If there's no medicine, won't you do what you have seen? And then you start hearing funny courses. These days, I'm wondering where, like somebody said, he studied fine and applied arts. He said he's only fine. He doesn't know where to apply it.
No, but there are people doing well in that area.
That is the point. You see, did you just bring out what is in my mind? It's not about coming out with the best result as a medical student. It's about seeing you behaving well in Jankwanu. Sure. That's what we want. We don't care about your results. Glory be to God that you made it. Glory be to God that you got 3 gifts during your induction. Glory be to God that they applauded you. You came out first. They said the second gift, the same person. The third gift, the same person. The neatest person, the same person. All of you took about 10 gifts. And then suddenly, headache like this you couldn't cure. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because your ability to attach skills to that discipline, oh my God, if only you are able to. Why do you think, let me even shock you with something. I traveled and I visited a welding workshop owned by a very wonderful mission-minded Christian in the US. He's a welder and he has been eager to come to Nigeria and train people, just like mission work, to come and train people in welding. And yes, just when I went to see what welding is there, and our people that bend down and do things on the floor, and then they put. I'm wondering, is this a different type of welding? He said this is even normal type of welding. He said because there you can buy a car, then they will tear the car into pieces. Like you can buy a 504 that is this long. They can make it longer for you. Customized. He said, who does the work? He said, it's welders. How many people do this kind of welding in Nigeria that you have seen? He sliced a bike, a power bike, into two in my presence. He added the size of the chassis, and then the bike became longer. The manufacturer thought he had finished his work, but another welder said, I have a different architectural skill in my head that I can make this bike look better.
And it still looks in shape.
It looks better.
Wow.
Like the shape is better. When people tell you that they are into this, when people tell you they are into real estate, when people tell you they are into medicine, when people tell you they are into media, when people tell you, I know people that are into media. I have never seen them in any of the media spaces. But you cannot beat them when it comes to riches. They know what they are doing. They know the kind of skills they are applying. I know somebody who is more like a researcher, and then he writes reports for state executives, and he's a media personnel. He's not on TV, he's not on radio, he's not on newspaper, he's not. He'll just come to a state and write a proposal. I can make a research about all your local government chairmen and the councillors, and then I'll write you a report that will inform how they can be dealt with, how they think and all of that. And then you do it and you submit. And then there can be crisis in a state. This guy will go and write, make findings, do research, talk with the locals, and bring out a report and give you. And then he's charging tens of millions. Who teaches you that in the university? Who teaches that in the secondary school? You don't find knowledge like that. People develop them. That's why from the beginning I said, intelligence, you don't have to pull it out from the school. You can pull it out from wherever. You can pull it out from wherever. Like, nobody will teach you broadcast engineering in Nigeria. Except through apprenticeship. You learn it from this person who has learned it elsewhere. So if somebody wants to be intelligent in that field and he's a Nigerian, what's of his story? What's left of his life? He's at the mercy of anybody who can teach him.
That's it.
For example, Joyce is doing well with the hair that she's making. I don't know when she makes time. And you know, I always encourage staff. What you make from here can hardly run you a whole week. Can hardly run you a whole week. So what do? Pinch from what you make, put it into something else. It's intelligence. You put it into something else, and then you have, when God made Adam and Eve, he gave them 4 streams in the garden. He says, in case this one dries up. Is he not God? Doesn't he have the power to make it not dry up? But that is because under the sun, there's a time and a season for everything. So if you are not intelligent enough to know that this your business is seasonal, I need something that will be in the next season. There are people that will sell potato to you, and you are calling them for potatoes. They say, how about Oga? Right now it's beans that is potato is not anymore until in the next 2-3 months. But now it's beans I have if you want. They are not folding their arms to say, the money I made from potato, let me eat it. No, they are eating it as well as eating beans money. Because in and out of season, they are intelligent enough to know that I have to keep making money. You talk about emotional intelligence. Joyce, a lot of people don't have it.
True. No, they don't.
True.
They don't.
When sometimes you see people tell you, I have a PhD in this, I studied this, I did this, this was my lecturer, he taught me this, I learned that, and he came again, I shake your zone.
Yeah.
So where
Right
is the
after
PhD?
saying all of, where is the PhD? Where is the PhD? There are so many people in Equa Television, they have masters, they have this. I am on the show and pouch. Nobody has ever brought water to me. Where is the emotional intelligence? Who has ever said, GM, let me fill your tank? Where is the emotional intelligence? What is funny?
Nothing. Right.
The only time Joyce gave me gift on my birthday, 1,200.
Wow.
I gave her back the 15 naira. It was 1,250. I said, Joyce, take the 15 naira. I don't need it. At least it's better than those who didn't even wish me happy birthday. Emotional intelligence. Now, if I apply emotional intelligence to signing of salaries, what will happen?
It's emotional
There will be
intelligence
chaos.
that will make you sign
No,
before the
emotional intelligence that you don't have, if I act based on that, I refuse to sign salaries, you know. But in all honesty, Joyce, this intelligence that we're talking about, is not just intelligence to make money. If you have intelligence to make money, you must have intelligence on spending.
Yeah.
If you have intelligence to toast a woman, you should have intelligence to keep her. If you
And
have
be committed to her.
and be committed, that's keeping her. If you have intelligence to apply for a job, you should be intelligent to keep the job. If you are intelligent to dress, be intelligent to buy shirt, be intelligent to know the colors to mix. Don't look like Joyce on the show. One day she had yellow and purple and all sort of, she looking like a rainbow on the chair. Joyce, I love you. You know that. You don't know it.
How would I know?
What's the highest expression of love? Allowing you to share the same show with me.
Well, I think intelligence.
You are speechless.
No, not speechless. Regardless of where individual decide to specialize or to be at, I think everybody needs to be intelligent and also apply it in their day-to-day life. The thing is that most people always think that intelligence is only required of people that went to school, the four walls of the school, be it secondary school, high institution, and all of that. But it even amazes you to see how people that didn't even sit in the four walls, like expressing or showing some level of wisdom, that person wisdom now like demonstrated in emotional intelligence, that person that sat under the four walls like cannot even. And that's not just to rule out that it is wrong, because I have experiences with people that went to the four walls of schools and they have even acquired like the highest qualification, and when you see them you can just tell that this person is actually educated. I know a professor that is a farmer. Like if you see what he produces yearly, you'll be amazed. Like this is a professor, he goes to the farm, he pull out his clothes and just put the farm in and he farms. So it's emotional intelligence that will make you understand the times and the seasons that you are in. You can't just say, me, do you know who I am? It is lack of intelligence that make you always feel, do you know who I am? Who are you? Like look at the story of the rich man in the Bible. So basically intelligence is about you acquiring knowledge and putting it into practice appropriately. So by the time you acquire knowledge and you don't put it to practice, then you're not intelligent. Because think about it, when you have an experience with fire burning you, it's expected that next time you will not put your hand there and then you go and say ash. That's not you being intelligent. On the same fire, the same spot. So intelligence will make you know that no, if I do this is what is going to result to.
Coming from a lady, how come you people go back to the person that dealt with you in a relationship? Anyway, we'll talk about that.
I don't have that experience, so I don't know why they do that.
And then our fathers of old, they never went to school.
We'll talk about that on Wednesday.
They never saw the four walls.
Emotional intelligence in love. That's next week Wednesday's topic. Viewers, we hope you will join us. Fireball you went back. Jemima, wait, let's finish laughing now. We are laughing at some people.
She doesn't want to forget the point.
We are laughing at some people who are interrupting us.
Keep memorizing that your point.
She's counting for us.
1, 2, 3, go. Let's laugh.
Make your point, ma'am.
Okay. So I was talking about our fathers of old. They never went to school. Like the academic structure, but then they had a very high sense of intelligence when it comes to speaking wisely, making decisions, assigning responsibilities and all of that, relating with others. In fact, I feel like they had the largest form of bond with each other, because they knew when this person is older than me, I need to accord this respect to him. They knew how to talk to somebody that is little, and that little person knows how to give them the respect they deserve. Like they had that form of intelligence. So it even goes to explain that having the academic knowledge is not a yardstick. A larger chunk of the intelligence is found elsewhere. Yes, so it's not just about the academic, though that is helpful, and if you have it, that is an added advantage. But then that is not enough. You also need to have, the common sense we talked about a few weeks ago. That is intelligence as well, because something little, something very easy that you're supposed to do, you find people struggling. If not, why will a 70-year-old man rape a 9-year-old girl. He
That one
doesn't
is
have
spiritual.
that
Something is wrong with
intelligence at
something.
all, because that man may have all the
Spiritual
number of
He doesn't have
Foolishness.
spiritual intelligence.
because that man may have all the number of PhDs or masters that he has acquired, but they were not there to help him in controlling himself. So intelligence is all round really, and should be gotten by everyone, regardless of what qualification you have or what qualification you do not have.
You see, talking about the school setting, when you talk about PhD and so on and so forth, yes, we can say that's the choosing area for that particular person, which is expected, to see all the intelligence being applied in that chosen career of yours. So we shouldn't see you, bragging to us that you are a professor of this, you have master in this, and then PhD in this, and then people are questioning some of your character, your behaviors, when it comes to, exposure and how you see things, how you apply things. That will start making people feel this person really acquired what he said because certain behaviors prompt people to ask certain questions that they feel that should not come from you. It means a certain level of intelligence is lacking in you. So bring it down to the person that didn't go to school, and you see people applauding him, in certain areas that they feel the person is good at. Why? Because like the little knowledge at his disposal is applying it well, and people are seeing it and they are wow. So you see the difference. Now somebody with higher qualification, people are asking questions about him. That means something is wrong about his intelligence. And you see somebody that didn't even go to school, but he is focused in his own particular chosen area, and then you see the person doing well, and then you are like, I think if we help this guy, like expose him the more, we would get more from him. So in nutshell, is trying to say that yes, with the little knowledge that this person has, is doing well. Imagining this person getting exposed more than this level, and that's why it will come to a level whereby you hear people say, okay, I know of some peoples that they are out of school, but you see them coming up with some certain level of creativity, and then you were like, people will be asking, where are you schooling? Where is it? And then you hear the person saying he's a dropout, maybe primary 3, he's a dropout, and then people are like, wow. And then from there you hear people now committing themselves into that particular child, to some even taking the child abroad to study in that area of intelligence whereby they see that the person can apply. So let's expose him. So in whatever level you are, the information at your disposal, you are being expected, to see a certain level of problem solving, relating well with people, and then as well seeing a level of progress in what you are doing. I feel when you talk about the yardstick that we should measure intelligence, I think it all boils down to the information you have and how you are applying, how you are dealing with people, the result that people are saying. Are people really okay? Not really okay, because some people cannot just be okay simply because they feel they don't have that level of intelligence. So lack of intelligence will make them to be angry about your progress, to be envious about your progress. So you see, that alone is lack of intelligence. Because if you are intelligent enough, you would know that that person is exploring his own area. So you are expected to know who you are, what you are good at, to apply your own, so that you will complement each other. At the end of the day, you will see that you are solving problems in a different
areas.
areas.
And I think I would like to say that, simply put, Intelligence is application of the knowledge or information that you have, and you can get that
whatever level.
you can get that anywhere. It is not tied to the four walls of schools. Like, I went to the school, four walls, and acquired knowledge which I am applying right now. I also make braided wigs, and I make braids. I didn't acquire that in any four walls of school, but I learned that under somebody, which is another form of education, and I'm also applying it. So education or intelligence, like, it's not tied to a particular place, and that's why earlier on I said experience is a form of like acquiring knowledge. The four walls is another form of acquiring. Education can be formal and can be non-formal. So whichever way you think you can learn, like, go ahead, learn, and also apply it. But what is more important is for people to know that education, in whatever form of, like, it is, whether formal or non-formal, is important. Like, don't get this twisted. I've had a lot of people say school na scam, and that's why somebody asked this question: if they remove voice note from WhatsApp, can you chat? So there are a lot of people that I know that have missed out on opportunities because they cannot read and write. There are people that have seen people that they want to assist them, but they don't have the know-how. Some went to the school, they have the certificate, but they don't know, like, they don't have the know-how. So whatever form of education you feel comfortable with, ensure that you don't just learn, but you apply it. And if you choose to go to the four walls of the school, don't just tie your stay there or your education to grades, but please think of the skill that you can pick out of it. There are a lot of people that are doing well, like, they studied entrepreneurship, and as far as businesses are concerned, they are doing well. There are some that study business administration. Till today, they are not even pencil are they selling or managing. So, but it just depends on the individual and what you see, your passion and your interest. Some went to colleges of education, but they can't even pass knowledge to so. But there are others that they didn't go, but based on experience. You talk about fathers of old. It's not like they were not educated. Their form of education is not what we had now. So, and
that was why I made
experiences, and they
because
learn under trees. They learn based on storytelling and relationship. It's not like now that everybody's on his phone. Then they had time. They sit together. They relate through storytelling.
Come to even think
and all of that.
Joyce, our grandparents or our great-grandparents or our forefathers, let me put it that way, they didn't have the kind of education we have now. I don't even know what to call what they had, if it was really education, like in the best sense of what it is defined today. But then you could keep your grains and nobody will steal it. You could keep your money, nobody will steal it. In fact, when they see it, they will say, we think this is the only person that can have this kind of money in this village. And then they trace you back.
You can leave your home open.
What it was then is not what it is now. Even with the education that we have. So where is the missing link? You see, your ability to deploy knowledge rightfully stands you out anywhere.
It's true.
There are people that your woman is not safe with. These people are born again. Your woman is not safe with. There are people your car is not safe with. Send them with a vehicle. Buy 2,000 naira fuel. When you come back, you fix the car with 20,000 naira. There are people your office is not safe. When they enter, they are not thieves, but something will be missing. I don't know what else they will be called. There are people when you give assignments to, they will not deliver well. Or even if they deliver, you would prefer later that I would have sent Joyce Takada instead of this person. At least for once, her name has entered good books. You understand? But honestly, to be truthful and be factual about intelligence, everybody needs it. As a matter of fact, everybody has it. It's just how we deploy it to situations that is just different. But everybody has it.
Do you lose your intelligence?
You will have it.
Or you forget.
No, you will have it, but you will not even know
as a result
that you have it because you are not using it. So of what use or of what good is having something
That
and
you're
not
not
knowing
using.
you have it.
You-
Because
okay.
if you know you have it, you need it. And when you need something, you put it to
If
use.
you have knowledge or you have acquired knowledge and you don't apply it, you are not intelligent, like simply put. And it's been a great time on this set. And like I said, everybody needs to be intelligent in today's life. So, and your education or your knowledge should be seen in your skill and even in your character. Emotional intelligence, I think, is top in your relationship with people. And I do hope that you have something to take home and to apply in your daily life. And this will be it on today's edition of Today's Life. We'll be back tomorrow with another edition. We hope you join us. Thank you, Equa Executive, for this platform. Thank you, Equa Television supporters. Thank you, Engineer Tony J. Nakali, our own General Manager of Equa Television. Thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you, my wonderful crew. Engineer Tony is still part of it. Thank you. To those behind the camera, I really appreciate you. See you tomorrow, same time. Bye-bye.